from Sensei.com. Don't forget, smash the like button, give us a comment down below. With me as usual, the Chris.
The Kev. Don't forget, hit the subscribe button, don't forget the care, don't forget to share. As always, please ring the notification bell and don't forget to free the fear. In this week's video, we're revisiting the 3x6 stance. We're going to adapt certain positions and we're going to revisit the cover drill and combine the two together.
We will look at these for both able-bodied and the wheelchair position.
If you haven't seen the videos already, check out the cards. The first position we looked at was bringing the cane up, putting our hand on our elbow and using the forearm as a shield and covering. If you can see from here, I've got the cane on my shoulder. It can be dropped back down or it can be away from the shoulder. The idea, as you can see with Kev, you're creating a barrier that will make it difficult to hit him, and the cane is ready to come in for the strikes. So this will be a quick reaction to something that's going on and you need to cover up quickly. We're going to change this slightly. Everybody moves differently. From here, you may not have the room. Rather than bringing it straight up, you may be bringing it around your body. So you're achieving the same effect, but you're keeping it tighter and close in. The danger of it, if I bring my cane up, there's a danger that somebody might grab it and then we're into a different skill set.
With the half cane, obviously I haven't got that distance, so I can bring it up from the side, straight up into my position.
Don't forget, you can bring it round from the other side as well. Practice both sides, practice straight up. As with all these drills, everything we do, don't remain static. As you're bringing your cane up, either step away from your opponent, step into your opponent. Don't just stand there because you make yourself more of a target. So practice different positions. As you know from previous videos, I like to step to their offline position. So as I'm doing that, I'll be getting into a cover position.
Obviously from a wheelchair point of view, I tend to stay static.
The second drill we adapted from Toxin Fighting by Carl Cooper. If you haven't seen this stuff, I do recommend checking it out. Take your palms, put them on your head, and you've created a line of sight so you can see your opponent, and you can, by sliding your hands, you can move, cover. If you've ever punched somebody's elbow, you'll realise why this is so effective. And we've practiced and practiced this. It is very effective. A natural flinch reaction is when somebody throws a punch and you're unaware, you will cover your head. So you're doing a natural motion and it's covering you. So we're going to apply this with the cane. Take it away, Kev. Nice and simple.
Again, I've got the strikes if I need to come through, I've got the blocks, I've got the turns, and I can strike from any position that I want to.
I like simple things.
That's what I like to be.
This is a very simple thing to do. Practice getting into that position. So as this hand's coming up, straight over. If you haven't got room, depending on your environment, you may be swinging it around and covering, coming around this way. It doesn't matter. Cover yourself. What you would like to do is, as Kev gets in the cover position, normally I would use my cane, but flatten your hand, I'm going to just try and hit him any way I can, and he's putting little digs in with the cane as I'm doing it. If I come straight in, I'm just punching his arm or his elbow, and you will see straight away there's opportunities. But make sure you're protected when you do this, because it hurts.
The great thing about this from a wheelchair point of view is that every time Chris's arm goes back, his hip goes back. So I know he's loading with that one, I know this one's coming. As soon as that one's coming in, I'm going to attack this before it comes to me. You do get that little bit of advance warning, and again with the cane, it's just a little tap over the top. It's a fantastic little position now.
As before, when you're doing this, good reaction, attack's coming in, either crash into it or step away from it so you get that distance and time to think. And that is always the key things when you're being attacked, that split second where you've got a little bit of a breather, you can engage your brain and you can move on with your techniques. This is our cover drill. We've covered this already in a video. As you're bringing it up, you're using the back of your arm to brace and augment your block, and you can cover. You can move this around. The danger is pushing your elbow out. If you watch the previous video, you see I did get clipped on one of these, but it gives you a nice, short, close-in defence system, and very nicely you can slip into that, which is a more covering drill. It's
more natural.
More natural. So when you're here, practice. Get somebody to get a short stick or another cane, nice and slow, and you can see that you're going to move. And as with all things, move your feet as you're doing this.
When I'm in this position and I start to come up, my elbow is well beyond the cane.
Yeah.
I haven't got that ability to bring my body in and do this. I'm in this position. So for me, naturally, I would come into this position.
Okay, this isn't one of my favourites, but again, it's a good flinch drill. And if your hands are up, you're basically covering your face with your arms going across. It works. It doesn't work for me very well. And that's what I'm going to emphasise. It's not one I naturally go to. I've seen people use this and it works well for them. With the cane, when you get into that position, you've got the added advantage, you've got a nice big clearance swing and it comes up. I tend to push my elbow forward. It's slightly different, but I'm covering my head and I can swing through, I can swing over, I can use this hand. It's a flinch drill as well, so I will say it again, it works for some people, it's not my preferred, it works well in the chair.
I don't like the principle. I find that I can't see well and I'm crossed up. It's great for Hungar, perfect, but for me I hate having this sort of position.
It's a good transitional position.
One thing I think this could work for is if you've got your hand here and you're there and you've got hold of them, you could probably swing and pull at the same time, but for me again it's just not comfortable.
One of the other ones that we've used on occasion is putting our hand on the base of our skull, on the top of our neck, especially if they've got a knife. There's a lot of very, very vital points there, and if it goes around the back, that can cause you a lot of damage. So you're doing a very, very similar move. You're grasping the back of your head and you're clamping up. With the cane, it's slightly awkward to do. So the cane would be in this position first, hand around the back of the head for the cover, and either bringing this across or bringing it over. I find it awkward. It is a good area to protect, but it is quite awkward when you're using the cane as well. What you need to do is work out and find out which one works best for you. You may even come up with one completely different from this, but if we've given you the idea and the principle of the idea, that's what we're looking for.
Personally, when dealing with danger, you're talking with your hands, and it's like no, 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 and from there to there, it's quite easy. And as I've said before, I get a really good view, I can see the hips, I can see where they're going from, and it just enables me to time my counters to perfection, and I'm dealing more damage to them than they are me, because they're just bouncing off of elbows and bony bits.
Quite often what I will do, talking with the hands, defensive position, this will come up, I will step back, my hand will go into the natural grip stance, and I'll bring this slightly off the ground for a ready position. I've turned myself slightly, so I'm not bringing this up. It's all very situational dependent as well. But that one, nice and easy, talking, covering, I'm showing that I'm not being aggressive, like you would do if you had a fist. I'm just covering up, my cane's ready, and then I can move into either my cover guard, change my guards, or do my pokes and strikes.
Remember, with these drills, we're using a natural grip. You can use the reverse crook grip. So it enables you to actually go in, pull them onto you. So just don't practice with that grip, but that grip as well. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you liked the video. Don't forget to smash the like button, drop us a comment.
Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so, so hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to ring the bell.